Available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. One of my viewers wanted to know why black men are supposed to be allegedly charismatic or trendy in order to be a part of dating and the social marketplace. Now, the viewer goes on to say that white guys don't have to be so-called trendy or charismatic in order to enter the social marketplace to date women. However, this expectation is made of black men. Now, it looks like to me that the viewer has a whole perception of black men that is colored by the ideals of white supremacy and wants to buy into the idea that black men need to be charismatic or trendy in order to get the attention of women. And that's not the case at all when it comes to black men. No, this whole idea of black men needing to be charismatic and trendy is something that is put on us and projected on us by those who are a part of the system of white supremacy, because they know that black men overall basically are the ones who set the trends and are the ones who set the direction as related to the social marketplace. And because those individuals are extremely insecure, what they do is buy into the idea that black men need to be charismatic or trendy in order to attract women, when in actuality what attracts women to black men mostly is their confidence. And a man, usually, if he is strong and confident, can go out here and attract lots of women to him, and he attracts those women basically by his masculine presence and the masculine energy he radiates from himself. And that masculine energy primarily comes from two sources. One, it comes from the men that a man associates with. He gets that from men like his father, his older brothers, and other men in the community. That masculine energy he gets from those men, from that one source. And the other source a man gets masculine energy from is his natural confidence that he builds from going out here and accomplishing what he wants to accomplish. And it is those two things that make a black man appear to be attractive to most women, and it makes him the man that most women want to desire because he has that confidence to be himself and he is emotionally secure in who he is. Now, when it comes to the white guy who is a part of the system of white supremacy, he doesn't really focus on his charisma, because in the system of white supremacy, what happens is that his white skin, like the late David Carroll has stated in many of his classic masterpieces when he was alive, covers a multitude of sins and imperfections. And in the system of white supremacy, a white man, by just having white skin, this basically makes him attractive to most women, because in the system of white supremacy, the white man has the whole presence, an ideal of godhood basically bestowed upon him. So most women, who they believe they can be made economically secure by just being in the presence of a white man. So that's what attracts most women in the modern social marketplace, especially in the West, to be attracted to white men. And when they look at a white man, they don't look at him the same way they see a black man. And the reason why they look at that white man differently is because that white man represents economic security, because as a part of the system of white supremacy and a person who has been given leadership status by the system of white supremacy, most women basically see a white male as someone who would, in their eyes, provide them economic security, whereas when they look at a black man, they look at a black man basically from a social standpoint, because the white supremacist system puts the black man in a second-class position. So when the black man is seen by most women, they look at him as so-called trendy and stylish, because they see him as somebody who has social currency. But when they look at the white man, they see the white man as someone who basically is someone who has economic security because they have been given control and stewardship over economic resources. So that's why they see the white man as economically attractive, and they also see him as socially attractive because for them, the white man, again, has higher social status than a black man, even if he's one of these guys in a trailer park with a meth addiction or a problem as related to alcoholism. That white man will still be seen as some sort of success by white and non-black women, and they will look to elevate his social status over that of a black man. However, the whole concept that a black man needs to be charismatic and trendy is something that I would say is complete BS, because a lot of black men out here get involved with women without needing to be charismatic or trendy. No, just a guy's natural masculine presence as a black man. This can make him appealing to women, because I know this for a fact. Just being yourself can make you attractive to women. But the whole thing is that many people out here don't understand the concept of you are what you attract, and who you are will determine who you are going to get involved with, because who you are attracted to is basically a reflection of you. Now, the viewer goes on to say that all foreign women care about is if a man has money and is trustworthy, and a black man has to overcompensate with an exaggerated machismo or personality to prove something that he's good enough. Now, I'm going to deconstruct this because this viewer basically sounds like one of the same guys who has the same dysfunctional notion as passport bros, because according to them, when you date outside of the States, a woman's expectations are lower, and I have to call BS on that, because when it comes to women, whether they be Western or from other countries, they are still women, and female nature is female nature no matter what country you go to, no matter what part of the world you go to. Women are going to be women regardless of race, regardless of culture, and the expectations that you believe are lower are not lower. No, what's happened with that woman in those foreign countries is that she has not really been exposed to the media of Madison Avenue and Hollywood. Moreover, she has not been indoctrinated into the feminist culture of Western countries, and that's why her perception of the world is different. However, if you take that same woman outside of those countries and bring her to Western countries, she will be winding up getting indoctrinated into Western culture, and she will be indoctrinated into feminist culture and become just as dysfunctional as these modern Western women, and have the same unrealistic expectations that the modern Western woman has. So this viewer basically is sitting there thinking, oh, these women are going to be completely different. No, they come from cultures that are basically where they have not been exposed to these whole Western ideals. However, because the internet has basically brought the world together, many of these foreign women in these countries are now going out here and buying into these feminist and Western ideals and having the same dysfunctional Western expectations that Western women have. Because as they're sitting in their countries, they've got these cell phones, smartphones, they've got the internet on these laptops and these tablets, and they're seeing all of these information being posted on places like social media and places like YouTube. So they are seeing things as related to wanting to get involved with this idealized man that is a social construct created by Madison Avenue and Hollywood. And they're seeing this social constructed man and looking to pursue that ideal. And that is basically shown in many foreign countries when these women run into the presence of a white man from the system of white supremacy. Many of those same women who talk about how they want to have these lowered expectations, automatically their hypergamy kicks in, and their hypergamy once it kicks in, because they see this white man as an idealized man, as the ultimate man in the system of white supremacy. Their hypergamy kicks in, and they want to go out here and be with that man because that man has the highest social status and that man has access to economic resources. So those women, what they do in those foreign countries, they start looking to get away from their men, and they'll start looking to come on to those white men. Or in the case of some countries like Africa, you will see these same women, when they see a Chinese businessman, they're starting to look at that Chinese businessman, they're looking at that white man, and all of their moral rules and their social rules that they were taught basically go out the window, because what they want to do is get involved with what they believe to be a higher status man than the men in their communities, and they look to make those men a priority. And as they look to make those men a priority in order to get access to the higher social status by being involved with a white man, or the higher economic resources he would provide as he's traveling, those same women with the so-called high moral position, in many cases, will be dropping the skid mark loincloths and allowing that man to be able to put the carbon steel rod inside of these women's atomic waste reactors for some nuclear fusion. And this is in countries where they say marriage is the standard, but we see that in these countries, these same women will break the rules in order to be with the men that they believe have the higher social status and can provide them with higher social currency and be able to elevate them out of the life situation that they have. So they will sit there and get involved with these men based on their natural hypergamy. Again, a lot of people say, oh, their expectations are lower. No, their expectations are the same as any other women, because what they want to do is get their social status elevated in those foreign countries, because they know that the men there can only provide to a point, and many of those women will go to those countries, and they go to those countries because they want to, again, look for these kind of guys again. And a lot of guys out there, they go to these countries and they think they're getting a better deal, but you're getting the same female nature, but these women basically are chameleons, using their whole idea of your perception of them as a way to be able to phase into your life. And then as they phase into your life, and they come to the West, they become completely different from what you thought they were. Now, the viewer goes on to say an average black man has to overcompensate with an exaggerated macho or machismo or personality to prove something. And no, a man who is black doesn't need to overcompensate with those things. No, when it comes to, many black men, they buy into ideas provided to them by the system of white supremacy, ideas that were created way back during the times of the slavery in the antebellum South, where they told you a black man had to have this exaggerated presence, but that exaggerated presence comes from the foundations of racist narratives like that of the black brute. And the whole narrative of the black brute is saying that the black man has to be big and muscular, loud and and lustful, and again have this machismo, because his manhood has basically been, again, exaggerated by the system of white supremacy. But natural masculinity is not exaggerated, because natural masculinity is natural, but the machismo is exaggerated because the person is coming from a place of insecurity. So what they do is create this hyper-masculine facade, and this hyper-masculine facade is meant to make it look like this man is so masculine, but in actuality, this man isn't looking very masculine at all. No, he's looking hyper-masculine and tough on the outside, but he's soft on the inside. And the whole thing is that this man is making it look like he's something, but he's not at all. Now, the viewer goes on to say that, the guy has to prove something. No, you don't have to prove anything at all. No, I myself as a man, I'm not looking to prove anything at all. I believe in the philosophy of as is, and as you see me right now is who I am. And when I look at women outside, I apply the as is philosophy, and as she is right now is who she is right now, and I accept who this person is who is being presented in front of me, and the character that I see in front of me is what I accept. I don't go out here looking to prove that I am a man like that out here as related to the social marketplace. Now, I wanted to prove myself for many years by trying to find that job to show that I could be competent and capable. But in my older years, I've just learned that for my own health, I just need to accept that, you can't prove something to someone who doesn't want to accept it. I mean, if I write 80 books and I'm out here having a work ethic where I'm making videos every day, and that doesn't show you my work ethic, then there's nothing I can show you at all. And that's what I've had to accept regarding myself. And the viewer says that, oh, it's not good enough. Well, when it comes to men, we have to accept who we are. And if a man is a trustworthy, clean, and healthy man of character, he has to accept himself and create his own standard, because God made the man to be the head. And since God made the man to be the head, he is the one who establishes the standard. So the viewer goes on to say black women don't hold other men to the standard that they hold black men to. Well, when it comes to black women, again, black women are a part of the system of white supremacy, and as a part of the system of white supremacy, she does not see a black man as her ideal. No, in many cases, when it comes to many black women, because they've been brainwashed by the system of white supremacy, what they do is they want to climb up that social ladder of the system of white supremacy, and some of them want to go out here and get involved with what they believe will be the idealized man as related to economic resources and the highest status in Western society. So they buy into that idea that they need to be with a white or a non-black man, not understanding that they are being brainwashed by the system of white supremacy. I go in depth on this in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, because one of the reasons why so many black women are single is that they're buying into ideas from white supremacy and its institutions like Madison Avenue in Hollywood, and projecting unrealistic expectations on black men. And instead of wanting a man of character, what they want is this perfect man who's a social construct of Madison Avenue in Hollywood, like many of the other women in the world, because many women buy into the global system of white supremacy. And that's why the white supremacist system basically leaves these women in a miserable state, because what they want is not a man, but what they want is a social construct. And that's where a lot of people get it all twisted about black women holding other races of men to a different standard. Again, the black man is never going to be seen like that if they buy into the system of white supremacy from birth. But once you start to open your eyes as a black woman, you start to see that this whole series of standards is unrealistic, and that your man is being impeded. The black man who looks like you is being impeded, because the system of white supremacy does not want that black man to compete against other races. So what they do is hold him back. And what happens is many black men, because they wind up buying into the system of white supremacy, they start thinking that they need to be charismatic and trendy in order to get the attention of women, buying into gimmicks and narratives like the high-value man, looking to put on expensive suits like the late Kevin Samuels, looking to drive expensive cars, looking to put on a hyper-masculine facade when their natural masculinity is perfectly fine, and natural masculine energy that's going to attract women of any race, because I know for myself I can go out here and attract black women, I can attract Hispanic women, and even some Asian and Indian women. I mean, just by just being myself. And again, when a man is just naturally himself, he can just go out here and attract women, and he has to have the confidence to go out here and go for those women. That's what a man has to do. And again, you don't need to put on the trendiest clothes as attachments to get the attention of women. I remember one time I was doing some work for my brother at a college, and he asked me to help fold some envelopes. And I remember this Hispanic girl was checking me out and wanted me to go and go check out some food that was left over at another part of the school, and it was just me wearing some Gap jeans and a basic mock neck merino sweater. And I didn't think I looked that good. I mean, I just put on some clothes just to go out of the house, but it attracted that girl to me because of who I was. And again, at that time, I really didn't have much money. It was just who I was that attracted her. So I know for a fact that, again, you don't need to be trendy in order to attract women. No, you just have to have your natural masculine presence. You just have to just be yourself. And a lot of guys, they think they have to go out here and put on expensive clothes. They have to go out here and drive expensive cars or make lots of money. No, you don't need any of that. If the woman is into you, she's into you. So you don't need to be, as a black man, charismatic or trendy. You just have to have confidence, because confident people radiate natural charisma that attracts people to them. And again, your natural presence is what's going to make you attractive. But what I find is a lot of folks out here, they become insecure. They become insecure about their whole situation as related to women because they've had a lot of bad experiences with women. And what they do is they go out here, and because they have these experiences, they become insecure. And a lot of black males, they have a lot of insecurities starting out with their mothers being cruel to them, and that basically makes trauma, and that trauma is reinforced by bad experiences with black women. And as they have those bad experiences, they go out here and demonize the black woman. Doing what the white supremacist wants them to do is demonize each other and separate, because what the white supremacist really wants to see is black men and black women separating from each other. And they want to see us separate from each other, because the greatest threat to white supremacy is black men seeing black women as attractive, black women seeing black men as attractive, and us getting with people who look like ourselves to go out here and build families. That's what is a threat to white supremacy more than anything, because black men and black women loving each other basically shatters the narrative, and no foreign woman is going to love a black man the way a black woman would. And this is one of the things I want to get to the viewer to understand. Again, those expectations of that foreign woman are not lower. They are going to be the same, because that hypergamy is going to have her looking for a higher status man than the one in her community. No, when she sees Western black men, she sees them as her last option if she can't get with the white men who travel. When she looks at those white men, that's the first man that she wants to get with. When she looks at those white men, those are the first men she wants to go out here and get with. And she will again break her rules for that white man. But after the white man has his fun and basically goes out here and puts the carbon rod in the atomic waste reactor after she drops the skid mark loincloth and gets his taste of the foreign atomic waste from the special place, she will go out here and, after getting run through by the white guys, take the black man as her last option, because she would rather settle for the black man who would take her into a better quality of life than she has in her own country, and will take that black man. And again, even though she has contempt for that black man, because many of those foreign women are racist, they will sit there and get with this black man and hope to get that green card and taken out of the country, or get that money to be the side piece. And then as she's getting that black man's money, she has absolutely no respect for that black man, and she will get with him to again elevate her social status, elevate her economic status, and all the while having no respect for that black man, because while she's living with that black man, she will be out here finding other white men or non-black men to get the back blown out behind this black man's back, and all the while calling that black man an N-word. So the whole idea of a black man being charismatic and trendy, attracting women, again, is one that comes from white supremacy. And again, in the system of white supremacy, they don't care about your charisma or your trendiness. No, they don't respect you at all as a man. No, they don't respect you. And this is one of the reasons why you need to respect and love yourself as a black man, because What makes you a man is based on one, God making you a man, and two, you understanding that if you love yourself, this will make you more attractive to women than anything. It'll make you more attractive to women because you have that self-confidence to know who you are. And when you know who you are not going to be upset about so-called being charismatic or trendy, because you understand in the system of white supremacy, the charismatic and trendy black man is just another tool that is going to be used by all of the women, because their whole thing is about making to get to the high status man, because they're a part of the world. And again, as they're a part of the world, they're looking to get with the white man, and that black man in that world is second best. And that's why we follow the Most High, because again, those who follow the Most High understand that a man has value for being a man. And again, a man who has confidence and faith in God, he's going to attract quality women to him, because he knows he is who he attracts, and he understands that if he wants to attract women of character, he needs to be a man of character himself. So that's what a man understands as related to the world of dating and relationships. He understands that he needs to be himself, to be the man that God made him to be, and accept that he is the man he is, and not worry about any other man and working about pleasing anybody out here except the Most High God. Now, this was a video requested by one of my viewers, and if you want to request a video, you can send a donation for a minimum of $15 to the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to learn how to break out of this whole paradigm of believing you need to be charismatic or trendy to get women, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also pick up Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Target. And if you want to learn why so many black women are in a dysfunctional paradigm where they will be single for the rest of their lives, you can pick up the book Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and Target. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Esteem Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this all-new Esteem series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in digital format at Amazon.com, Google Play, Draft Digital, and other digital booksellers, or pick up your paperback copy on May 24th. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Illuminati. The man who rules the world takes on the head of the global elite in this all-new action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' Illuminati in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.